Managing the innovation process. Managing the innovation process involves overseeing the development of the new ideas, products, or services from conceptions to implementation with a focus on maximizing the value creation and minimizing the risk. So, here are the key steps and considerations in managing the innovation process effectively. Idea generations encourage creativity. So create a culture that fosters the creativity and idea generations among the employees, encouraging them to contribute and share their ideas through the brainstorming sessions, suggestion programs, and innovation challenges. So there should be a culture which will be fostering the creativity and idea generations among the employees, which will encourage them to contribute and share the ideas through the brainstorming sessions, suggestions programs, and innovation challenges as well. External inputs. Seek the inputs from the customers, partners, and industry trends to identify the emerging opportunities and unmet needs that can inspire the new ideas for innovation. So, inputs and feedbacks should be taken from the customers in order to see that what new ideas for innovations can be generated from them. Idea screening and selection. Criteria development. Establish the criteria for evaluating and prioritizing the ideas based on factors like the strategic alignment, market potential, feasibility, and resource requirements. So try to establish the criteria for evaluating and for prioritizing the ideas, which is based on factors like strategic alignment, market potential, feasibility, resource requirement. Scoring and ranking. Develop a systematic process for scoring and ranking ideas against the established criteria to identify the most promising ones for the further development. So try to develop a systematic process for the scoring and ranking ideas against the established criteria, which will help to identify the most promising ones for further development. Concept development and validation. Prototype creations. Develop the prototypes of the proof of concepts to test the feasibility and viability of the selected ideas, allowing for the quick iterations and refinement based on feedback. So try to develop the prototypes or the proof of the concepts to test the feasibility and the viability of the selected ideas, which will help them to allow for the quick iterations and refinement based on feedback. Validate the concepts with the target customers or the stakeholders through the surveys, interviews, or the pilot tests to gather the feedback and insights for the further refinement. So try to validate the concepts with the target customers or the stakeholders through the surveys, through interviews, through the pilot test to gather, to take more informations, to take more feedback for the further refinement. Business case development. Market analysis. Conduct the market research and competitive analysis to access the market opportunity, customer needs, and potential demand for the innovation. So try to conduct the market research and competitive analysis to access the market opportunity, the customer needs, the potential demand for the innovation. Develop financial projections and business models to evaluate the potential return on the investment and access the financial viability of the innovation. So develop the financial projections and the business models which will help to evaluate the potential return on the investment and access the financial viability of the innovation as well. Resource planning. Allocate the resources including the funding, talent, and time based on the requirements and priorities of the innovations project, ensuring adequate support for its success. So try to allocate the resource which includes the funding, the talent, the time, which are based on the requirements and the priorities of this new innovation project, and it will ensure the support for its success as well. Involve the cross-functional teams from the different departments or the disciplines to ensure the alignment, collaboration, and share the ownership of the innovation project. So try to involve the cross-functional teams for the different departments, for the disciplines to ensure the alignment, collaboration, and shared ownership of the project as well. Development and testing. Iterative development. Adapt an iterative approach to development, breaking down the project into smaller, manageable phases or the spirits to deliver the incremental value and gather feedback. So try to adapt the iterative approach to development, breaking down the project into small, manageable phase or spirits which will help to deliver incremental value to gather the feedback. Prototyping: build the prototype or the minimum viable products to test and validate the key assumptions, features and functionalities with the users and stakeholders. So try to build the prototypes or the minimum viable products, test and validate the key assumptions, features and the functionalities with the users or the stakeholders as well. Launch and communication, commercialization. Develop a comprehensive go-to-the-market strategy which will include marketing, sales, distributions and customer support plans to ensure the success, launch and the adoption of the innovation. Conduct the pilot test or the soft launches to validate the product or the service in the real world settings, gather user feedback and identify the areas for improvement. So try to take the pilot test or the soft launches to validate the process of the product or the service in the real world settings. Monitoring and evaluation. Define the key performance indicators and metrics to track the success and impact of the innovation, such as adoption rate, customer satisfactions and the financial performance. So try to define the key performance indicators and also the metrics which will help to track the success and the impact of the innovations, like the adoption rate, like the customer satisfactions and the financial performance. And also implement the feedback mechanisms to gather input from the customers, employees and other stakeholders on the effectiveness and the value of the innovation. So try to implement the feedback mechanisms to gather the input from the customers, the employees and other stakeholders on the effectiveness and the value of the innovation. Continuous improvement. Use the insights from monitoring and the feedback to continuously iterate and improve the innovations, addressing the gaps or areas for enhancement to optimize the value propositions and impact. So try to use the insights from monitoring and feedback, continuously iterate and improve the innovation, the addressing or the gaps or the other for the enhancements to optimize the value propositions and impact. Foster a culture of continuous learning and experimentations, encouraging the employees to embrace the failure as a learning opportunity and apply the insights to future innovation efforts. So try to foster the culture of the continuous learning and experimentations which will encourage the employees to embrace the failure as a learning opportunity and apply insights to future innovations and efforts. Intellectual property protections. Identify and protect the intellectual property assets associated with the innovations through the patents, the trademarks, copyrights or other legal mechanisms to safeguard against infringement and ensure the exclusivity. So try to identify and protect the intellectual property assets associated with the innovations through patents, through trademarks, through copyrights or any legal mechanisms which will help to safeguard against the infringement, and it will ensure exclusivity as well. So managing the innovation process, it requires the strategic and systematic approach that spans from the idea generations to commercialization, with a focus on fostering the creativity, collaborations and customer centricity. So by following the steps and considerations, organizations can effectively manage the innovation process, drive the value creations and achieve the sustainable growth in today's dynamic and competitive business landscape.